Foremost, and give all praise, glory, and honor. It's like it to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Abakwadash. Double honors to all the apostles, great millstone and rule well that taught me the truth. Peace, love, and blessings also to you, brothers out there on the highways and byways, giving all diligence to make that call and election sure. And also blessings to you, a few sisters out there listening and learning. I'm that fellow servant, Kanakala, coming at you once, giving another lesson, Lord's will, through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. This lesson is edifying. So, just the other day, I had somebody ask me, how do we know? And then I noticed this is an individual that that pretty much doesn't see the Bible as validation, so to say. Is not or is fairy tales, or this is it's pretty much it's not the good book. It's not a good book. All right, it is. They see it as trash or whatever the case may be. That's pretty much what I'm trying to say. I forget the exact words they use, but pretty much the Bible is BS. Okay, and it's just a book of fairy tale allegories. All right, so I talked to this individual recently, a couple of days ago, and we see what's happening with this whole pandemic. Okay, that is leading up to this chip, which is the mark of the beast, pursuing right here to Revelation 13 and 16. But I spoke to that individual and was like, look, you talk all this stuff about the Bible, but here it is now that the plans are happening. All right, prophecy is taking place. This prophecy of the mark of the beast is close. And his response to me was, well, how do we know that's talking about the chip? How do we know? All right, so once again, refuse to give any credit to the scriptures. Refuse to give the scriptures any validation, because you've talked so much shit about the scriptures to the point now it's like you're going to deny all the way up to the end, because what you believe or how you feel. So even though prophecy is taking place, that pride is gonna lead these people to destruction. All right, they're going to recognize that this Bible is the word of the Lord, as it said. Yahweh Bashim Yahshai said, "My word shall not return unto me void; it shall accomplish that which I which I please." Roughly paraphrasing. So let's get right into this. Revelation 13 and 16, and he called it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. So the key word is mark. All right, and we went through this many times, broken this down from the elder apostles to Har to the elder apostles on down. All right, so going to that word mark, Salakia, the Greek word is charagma. All right, charagma, a stamp, an imprinted mark. All right, a mark branded upon horses. All right, and that's one of the things they're trying to do. They're trying to brand you like cattle, like sheep. I know you heard the term of people are like sheep. It says, of the mark stamped on the foreheads of the right hand as the badge of the followers of the Antichrist. All right, and that just mean against the anointed, against the Savior. All right, Salakia. Now let's go to the Greek word karax. Okay, a pale or stake, a palisade. Now, when John was receiving these visions, the hypodermic I was about to say missile, but the hypodermic needle, okay, that they use in today's medical field, it wasn't around, all right, at that time. Okay, it wasn't around back then. So let's do something real quick. As you can see, one of the definitions is palisade. All right, we're going to focus on that, but we're going to focus on all three of these: pale, stake, or palisade. But I'm going to focus on palisade right now. So, and if you search that up, palisade, you got a term, palisade fencing, and I know a lot of people have seen this. Okay, these type of fences where you got like the sharp, see, you got like the sharp point at the top. All right, I don't know if you can see it in this photograph. I can't. I'm trying to zoom in. All right, there we go. So this is palisade fencing. So You see it, all right? And that's like how a needle, a hypodermic needle, looks at the top, all right? Is pretty much sharpened into a point so it can pierce your skin, all right? So let's go back. Palisade fencing. What else I looked up? Yep. Medieval defense palisade. Okay. Now you know during the time of the Roman Empire, all right, between like somewhere I believe John was like around like 93 AD, 90 AD, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere around that time. But you know the Romans, you know this was common. You know, this was a common thing to see palisade. All right, when they would go to war, this would what protect them pretty much from being invaded. All right, you know the enemy, they had to get through those sharp pointed fences before they can get to the village. All right, if you will, and you know I mean I'm pretty sure you can climb over that, but this created what it was, a resistance. All right, to where people just not freely running into your village or into your land. All right, they were met with a resistance. You know, they had to, you know, this wasn't easily climbed over, because why, you had to worry about the points on these fences poking you. So John, this was something common, all right, during a time period when John seen these prophecies, all right, when he's seen people actually being chipped. This was, you know, common scenery, if you will. All right, so that's what he called it. All right, a mark and a palisade. Okay, because the hypodermic missile wasn't pretty much around during his time period. So let's look up that word I just looked it up. Slovakia. Dermic. All right, hypodermic needle. Okay, and this is what you have, a hypodermic needle. Okay. And that's what they use. This is what they're going to use. And as you can see, the palisade, right? The palisade. This is shaped just like the pails, the wooden pails that John saw. So he, you know, this wasn't around. You know, the medical field wasn't this advanced, all right, when John was on the scene. So he couldn't say, oh, a hypodermic needle, because that term wasn't around. So he described it the best way he could with the things present in his time period. That's why it's called prophecy, because this was supposed to take place way after he spoke or prophesied or wrote these prophecies down. Okay, so here it is, the same thing. Okay, so hypodermic missile. I keep saying missile. I'll show you why I keep saying missile in a minute. Because you are going to eat those missiles. You're going to get attacked by those missiles if you do take this chip. But it's another point. But hypodermic needle. So you look up the word hypodermic. All right. A relating to region immediately beneath the skin. Okay. Beneath the skin. So let's look up the word epidermis. Because that's what's going to happen. That needle is going to penetrate your epidermis. So here it is right here. The epidermis is the outermost part of the 3 layers that make up the skin. The inner layers being the dermis and the inner layers being the dermis and hypodermis. That's why it's called a hypodermic needle, because it pretty much pierces underneath your skin. All right, it says the epidermis layer provides a barrier to infection from environmental pathogens and regulates the amount of water released from the body into the atmosphere through epidural water loss. Okay, so this layer of skin was designed, all right, to be a barrier of protection from outside or environmental pathogens. Okay, so which is why the Lord didn't design your skin, all right, or well didn't as I said, the Lord didn't intend on us to take medicine, all right, through our skin. That's why we have an epidermis to protect us, all right, from the outside pathogens. So when you pierce in that skin, that's why the scriptures in the law, it tells you, you shall not make any piercings to your skin. That's a law. Okay, so pretty much receiving, all right, this vaccine and this RFID chip, just from it piercing your skin, that's a sin. So you're not supposed to allow it to happen. Any medicine that you're supposed to take, as the scriptures say, the Lord had made medicines out of the earth. Okay, and he that is wise will not abhor them. Any medicine is supposed to be taken orally, all right, or if you have a cut or an infection on your skin, which is the epidermis, all right, it's supposed to be taken externally, meaning rubbed on your skin, or taken internally through the mouth. Nothing is never supposed to be pierced through your skin, because that's against the body, all right? You know, it doesn't function properly with the body. All right, remember the works of the Lord are perfect. And I could be getting so many scriptures, man, you know, but I'm quoting them, all right? Or else this video will be an hour long. But, you know, we just trying to get you straight to the point. So, the epidermis, because that's what that they're going to do with that chip, all right? They're going to pierce your epidermis. So we got a hypodermis, epidermis, hypodermic needles. All right, we know hypodermic needles wasn't around, all right, during that time. So, and look it up, who invented the hypodermic needle. You'll see it was way after John received that vision or that prophecy, all right? I believe it was like the 1800s, you know, so John described, so that's how we know, all right? You know, having wisdom, man, being able to discern these things, rightly divide the word, all right? And it just common sense. That's why if you can't see that the scriptures is talking about the mark of the beast, all right, you're void of judgment. Either you're void of judgment, or it's just pride, all right, this is stopping you from accepting, all right, the Bible, okay, or from accepting this gospel or this doctrine. Because a lot of people accept the Bible, but then you got a lot of camps out there that's not saying that that's saying that the mark of the beast isn't the RFID chip. Okay, so it's plain for us to see. It's like common sense, you know, to know judgment. You know, it's like, man, like when you know, we make judgments every day. All right, should I cross the street at this time? Or if you drive a car, should I make this turn? Do I have enough time to make this turn? Okay, or is this car going to hit me? Or should I wait, you know, to the next car pass by? Or should I change lanes to this lane? Do I have enough room? Those are all judgments being made, and it's judgments made off of pretty much common sense, if you will. So we can clearly see that, okay, it doesn't say chip, you know, but let's think, you know, they'll give everything the benefit of the doubt, but the words of the Lord, or this gospel, or this doctrine. Everything else, it'd be like, come on, man, you know what he's talking about. He don't have to say this. But when it comes to the scriptures, the scriptures has to specifically say a chip, and it got to have the words hypodermic needle piercing with the RFID chip. It has to say that. Now they go into that mind frame. How do we know it's talking about the chip? You feel what I'm saying? And they're gonna be judged for that, man. They're gonna be judged for that, you know. So don't worry about it. For what if some did not believe? But I think that's really all I wanted. But the point being, matter of fact, let's get that. I gotta go to the other app. But the point being is that the prophets described the things, the prophecies according to the time period that they was in. All right, and it's up for us in these times to use discernment, to make judgments, to use certain our common sense to know what the scriptures are talking about. Okay, but a lot of you still want to accept it, but it's all good. Show you another example. Yep, right here. Remember I kept saying hypodermic missiles. So this is the Prophet Ezra's, another example we use, meaning discernment, all right? Judgment, using common sense. So 2 Ezra 16, it says, the earth quaketh and the foundations thereof. The sea arises up with waves from the deep, and the waves of it are troubled, and the fishes thereof also before the Lord and before the glory of his power. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp and shall not miss. So far it looked like the Prophet Ezra is talking about some bow and arrows being shot. Okay? It says when they began to be shot into the ends of the world. Like we always say, how many people you know can take one arrow? All right, I'm over here in America. Can I shoot an arrow from here over to Africa? No. I can't even shoot an arrow from here, all right, maybe to the next city. And I'm just being generous when I say that. I can't shoot an arrow from here to the next block. You know, I'm pretty sure some people that probably can, but the average person can't shoot an arrow from here maybe a football field long. Okay? So let alone an arrow being shot from ends of the world. Okay, we know that this is talking about missiles. ICBM missiles, but do it say missiles? No. Ezra described it, what? Something that propels and flies, and when an arrow hits you, it kills you. Okay, it's a killing instrument, all right? It's pretty much meant to kill you, man. All right? So when those missiles were shot off, he saw those missiles coming down, and he saw those missiles killing people when they went to the other end of the world. Okay? And remember, like Elder Tahar said, all these prophets saw the same vision. They just wrote it down, all right, according to their understanding. Okay? To how they saw it, to their understanding, to them using judgment in that time. Okay? What's the best way I can describe this? Okay, is I'm going to just call it an arrow. He couldn't say missiles, because what? Missiles was just recently, man, invented here in our time. Okay? Not saying recently like 10 years ago, but just recently invented, man, in our day and age. All right, so it says, for strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow, his arrows that he shooteth are sharp and shall not miss, when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. Behold, the plagues are sent, and shall not return again until they come upon the earth. Because they go out of orbit, and then they return back, and they get that drop, and they come down. All right, it says, the fire is kindled and shall not be put out till it consume the foundation of the earth. And that's what those missiles are going to do. All right, they're going to consume the foundations of the earth. All right, it says, like as an arrow which is shot, and here it is, it says like. So he even let you know in the 16th verse that I'm not actually talking about an arrow. I'm saying like. Okay, like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer returneth not backward. Okay, even so the plagues that shall not be sent upon the earth shall not return again. Okay. So, and again, these scriptures are twofold, all right, interchangeable, all right, because also this means like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty man, of a mighty archer returned not backward. So, meaning also too, when you shoot the missiles off, okay, just like when a man shoot an arrow, and once he released that arrow, it's impossible for that arrow to turn back, you know. Like, once he let that arrow go, okay, he can't be like, oh, man, I'm sorry, or no, I forgot, or no, I don't want to do it. No, that arrow is going, whatever he released it towards, wherever he pointed at and released it, that arrow is going to hit them no matter what. Okay, so likewise with these, with these missiles. When they let those missiles off, there's no repenting. There's no saying, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't want it. No, those missiles, that's it. That's it. Once they push that button, that's why it's like a whatever amount, a 5-step sequence, if you will. And I'm just using the number 5 as an example, just throwing a number out there. But that's like a 5-step sequence into releasing the missile. You got to turn a key. First, you got to get a code, read the code, and you got 2 people. It takes more than one person to release a missile. All right? You get a code, Make sure the codes match, whatever the case may be. You turn one knob at the same time, then you turn another knob at the same time. All right. So it's in that sequence, because once you let that missile go, once you launch it, as it say right here, like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty man, of a mighty archer, turn not backward, even so the plagues shall be sent upon the earth. So you ain't gonna be able to return those missiles back. That's why you go through a 5-step sequence, because it's like, man, you got enough time to pretty much to think about whether you want to do this or not. You do the first step, you're like, I don't know, man, about this, man. I'm finna kill millions, if not billions of people. I don't know about this. Then bam, you pretty much made a conscious decision to shoot off those missiles, because it's a sequence, it's a step, and it was designed like that on purpose, because this devastation that those missiles bring. Okay, so this ties into prophets pretty much describing things in their time period. So the prophecies that we speak on now, all right, people be like, oh, well, don't say missiles, or well, don't say chip. You're right, it don't. All right, but here it is in this time period, we can see what these prophecies were spoken about. All right, and I'm gonna close up with this last scripture. So this is Matthew 11 verse 25. It's another one in Corinthians as well, Paul wrote down. But this is Matthew 11:25. And at that time Yahushua answered and said, I thank thee, O Father, Lord of heaven and earth, because thou hast hid these things from the wise and prudent. Who's the wise and prudent? All right, Esau, Edom. All right, the so-called illuminated ones. They have the knowledge. All right, they're the illuminated ones. They they have the they're engineers. They have all the technology. Okay, that's the wise and prudent. Okay, and has revealed them unto babes. And even with the wise and prudent, among our people too. Okay, among our people too, who are wise and prudent. All right, of our people that got degrees and went to the theological seminaries and got all these degrees and became pastors and stuff. That's also considered the wise and prudent. All right, but has revealed them unto babes. So these mysteries, all right, about the chip, about the missiles, all right, the Lord has opened our mind and has revealed these unto babes, unto little children, unto the lowly, man. We're considered as babes, the lowly. Okay? It's another one where Paul said, thou hast hid these things from the wise, man. All right, so what? The Lord put this word in a certain form to where that when people read these things, they don't see it don't say missiles or it don't say chips. Because if that's the case, everybody would be down with the program. Everybody would believe. But the Lord put it in this type of form, so what? Only certain chosen men can see these things. All right, those that He ordained to receive these things have received it. So, the mark of the beast is the Rfid chip, and no, it doesn't say chip there. And how do we know it's talking about it? Discernment. All right. And what? At the end of the day, this takes faith. How do you know it ain't talking about it? You feel what I'm saying? You can say how we know it is talking about it. Well, how we know it ain't? It could be how you know it ain't talking about it. You feel what I'm saying? How you know it ain't right? You be like, oh, how we know that's talking about that? Well, how can you 100% say that, oh, that's not talking about the chip? You can question how we know it is, but how do you know it isn't? We can play the same game. You feel what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. You people ain't slick. You people not smart. Okay? The word is of the Lord. The Lord, Yahweh Shai, His word is going to stand, and you all going to bow and submit, man. Okay? Because these prophecies going to fold. I mean, not going to fold. They're going to unfold, and they're going to, man, His word ain't going to return unto Him void, and you people going to see. So, it's the next time, giving all praise to Yahweh Shai. Shalom.